Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about paid search. We're going to start with paid or pay-per-click advertising, digital advertising in marketing. For this topic, we're going to touch grounds with about 6 subtopics, starting with an introduction of paid ads, campaign process, and keywords. So now again, we're going to talk about how do we use the keywords that we extracted with the keywords analysis into building ad groups and the whole campaign on Google search ads. Then we're going to talk about important metrics, ad rank, managing pay-per-click and optimizing the pay-per-click, how to write very good text ads, managing the pay-per-click keyword phrases or key phrases, using certain tools for that, and the bid management software. So first of all, let's start with an introduction to paid search or pay-per-click search marketing. We're going to talk about an intro, definition, advantages, disadvantages, and most importantly, we're going to cover the topic of quality, ad rank, and the quality score and relevance. Maybe in this video, I'm going to stop with the disadvantages. First, let me start with this video, a very quick video on the ad search with Google or Google Ads.
So you're ready to advertise on Google. You've come to the right place. We know it can seem complicated at first. That's why we're here to help. Before we jump in, let's go over what search ads are. Imagine you're a florist. At any given moment, someone somewhere is using Google to search for what your business offers. They start by typing a search query into the Google search box. Oh dear, this one's cutting it a bit close. So we have our problem. Someone needs red roses fast. And we have our solution, your business. How do we match the two up and make sure they get the flowers in time? Let's look at the search results. First, there are what we call organic search results. These match their search but aren't paid ads. Then there are search ads. These usually show above the organic results and provide helpful info that matches the search. You've probably seen these before. They have a small tag that says ad on them. What's the point of search ads, you ask? Well, they help businesses just like yours stand out within the search results and get noticed by the people who are searching. So if your business can get them out of trouble with some speedy flower delivery, this is where you want to pop up. It looks like you've saved the day. But this is just the first step in our journey. We've created a series of short step-by-step videos to walk you through the process. You'll learn how to create a campaign, pick the right keywords, write great text ads, track your goals, and review your performance. Before you start the lessons ahead, you'll need to have a Google Ads account. If you don't have one yet, you can go to ads.google.com to create one now. Once you've opened your account, it's time for the next step. Just keep watching to learn how to create your first campaign.
All right, thank you so much. Indeed, the first step with Google Ads is to create a Google Ads account. So you can go ahead to ads.google.com, ads.google.com if you have a digital property like an e-commerce store, and then you will be able to create your first campaign. In my videos, not only for today, but in my videos and in my in-person class with you guys on Tuesday, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to create a campaign, a little bit more in detail about different features that you need to use on the Google Ads platform. So this is a very old generated SERP, search engine results page, but it's still valid. This is a search results page for a certain product. It seems to be a bicycle. So with Google search engine, you will be able to search for different products on different platforms, advertised on different platforms. For example, these products at the very top of the page here, shop for mountain bikes on Google. These are Google shopping ads. These we call them the PLA, or the product listing advertisements. Second, you will notice also the AdWords standard advertisements. And nowadays they don't use the word ad, but they use sponsored. Yeah, so they use sponsored, I think, instead of ads. What else? With AdWords, you can also see the ratings of some of the listings as well. And after the list of the sponsored advertisements, as you can see here, that marked with this green label, then you will be presented with natural or organic searches. So these are the organic search results. All right, you also will have videos and images, different multimedia generated results. So what is paid media or paid advertising? It includes any type of paid advertisements, and it is either an offline, like billboard, poster advertisements, or is it online, or kind of online like display advertisements, or now we call them programmatic advertisements, because with display advertisements, we have also native advertisements, those related to editorial content. So in order to put all these different types together, we put them under display advertisements. There's also a paid advertisements here, which is this kind of advertisements on Google Shopping, as well as Google search advertisements, Google search. So in any case, with Google paid advertisements, we are going to start with Google paid search. So Google paid advertisements include the Google Shopping. It includes also a search paid, or paid search advertisements, as well as display advertisements. And now in the back of my head, I'm also saying it also includes advertisements on other platforms like YouTube, like video advertisements. And then we also have other advertisements on social media and so on. So these are all, whatever you pay for, are paid advertisements. But in today's, like in this topic, we are just going to talk about the search paid ads. So Google AdWords is the name for Google advertising tool that specializes in paid search. Recently, it's called the Google Ads. We don't no longer use Google AdWords. This is an outdated name. So I'm going to refer to it as Google Ads. Please forgive my notes. I cleared my notes and I looked over it and edited it also this semester to get rid of Google AdWords. But if you spot the Google AdWords instead of Google Ads, please let me know. I would like to fix that. But I'm just very much used to both of them, and sometimes I just don't notice that I had Google AdWords instead of Google Ads. Types of search paid advertisements. With search paid ads or paid search advertisements, I have these Google Ads advertisements, and then I have the product listing advertisements or PLAs. So in this lecture, we're going to focus on the Google Ads. But in fact, in the future, if I have some time, I should actually also go over the product listing advertisements, but these usually we cover in the entrepreneurial strategy course. All right, let's talk about the intro to a pay-per-click model. So this is a payment model or business model, pay-per-click, between you as an advertiser, as a business owner, and the Google platform, which is the other business that provides you with the service of advertising. So the business model here is the pay-per-click. And let's talk about the difference between the pay-per-click and the conventional advertising as well, and see why it is more favorable. There are two significant differences between the pay-per-click and the conventional advertising, which are, first of all, the performance-based payment. Back in the time with conventional advertising, as we said, you have to pay in advance, and if you like, you have different feelings from different advertising companies, and whatever you like, you go with it, and then you have no clue whatsoever about in numbers about the outcome of this campaign. You just hope it's gonna bring you more sales and it's gonna meet the promise. But with Google Ads, you have mitigated uncertainties. You brought down the uncertainties because even though there's still uncertainties, you're not sure about the outcome, but at least you're not paying other than your money, other than your time and effort, in fact. So you're not paying money. Your budget is more safe with digital advertising. Why? Because you won't pay until the customer clicks, and this is your goal. So this is why we call it performance-based. It's based on Google performance. If Google brings you clicks, you pay for these clicks. Otherwise, you're not going to pay for anything other than your time and effort, of course, devising the campaign. So the advertiser is not paying for the ad to be displayed. So the cost is incurred only and only when the ad is clicked on and the visitor is directed to the advertiser's website. So it's a cost per click model. There are increasingly other options of payment with Google. Now, in this lecture, we're just going to talk about paid search, yeah? Or sometimes in my slides, I call it a search paid, but paid search, also sometimes I just call it paid search. So search paid advertisements come with a cost per click model, but Google has other tools like programmatic advertising, like display advertising. With these tools, you also have you are presented with another payment option like pay per impression or pay per mille, which is cost per impressions. Here, CPM, cost per, why is it M? Is it because of the M in the impressions? No, it is cost per mille. Mille is a Latin word for 1,000. So usually you pay for 1,000 impressions. This is 1,000 impressions means 1,000 views. So you pay per view. So this is why it's cost per mille means 1,000 impressions. So the options these are options on Google Display Network, and they are basing it on programmatic advertising, these display ads or contextual ads. And we're going to talk about this in due course. There's a whole set of slides talking about this topic. So is it important to use, it is also important to use different form of creative and targeting targeting your audience. So it is just recommended that you use both the Google Shopping, search ads, as well as display ads, like video or social media and so on, contextuals. Okay, now second reason why pay-per-click is a very good model with Google search paid advertisements is that it is well targeted. I'm not going to just talk about the targeting. I'm going to talk about it allows you to create different ad copies under the same campaign, with each copy of that advertisement trying to deliver or transmit a certain message. So as you guys know, in terms of marketing communication, we start with segmenting the customers or segmenting our audience or segmenting our target. So we have different customers buying from our sites because they're looking for baby gifts. Other set of customers, because they like our sets, nicely wrapped sets for newborns. Then we have also new mothers coming into our website, and they are looking for a bundle of all the the list of all the important things that they need as new moms. Then we have also a list of not new moms, but repeaters. They come to our site once and they are loyal customers, and they come again as loyal customers. These are different, but with loyal customers, you need to talk to them about the quality. Maybe they're coming back to our site because of quality or because of price. They come again and again to our site because there's something new. Yeah, like a new mom, she doesn't really care about the new options or the new products that we have on our site if it's for a 1-year-old or 2-year-old. So basically, you need to be targeting your new moms differently, new moms with a bundle of different products that they need as new moms because they are oblivious about what they need to buy. Where do I start? And so with experienced moms, they probably looking for quality, others looking for quality for money, let's say. Others are looking for, depending on your products, assortments. Then you will have also some moms looking for new products, cute products. Also, this requires you to keep up with your list. Ask them how old are their babies, and when the baby is 1-year-old, message them with a 1-year-old new products or 2-year-old new products and so on. So for repeaters, for example, I would have a carousel ad or on Facebook, or even in general on search ad, talking about we have new collections for 6 months old to 1-year-old to 2-year and 3-year-old babies. So we're going to talk about the new collections, for example, winter collection, fall collection. Be relevant to the context as well. So for search ads, it could be a little bit troubling if you are not sure about your target market and your audience. Your target market is big, but your audience are those who come to your site because you have quality products, because you have 100% cotton, because you actually follow up with their children after they are 6 months old, 1-year-old, 2 years old, and with email marketing and so on. So this is what we talked about in the previous point, that you need to be creative with a mix, mix your creatives and a channel, or have a mix, a nice mix, optimized mix of creatives or creative touch points with your customers. So through paid search, through display ads, through social media, and so on, or also email marketing, so that you can keep in touch with your customers and they buy again and again from your store. So well-targeted prospects is very important. Understand what is it that you offer. Give a clear message. Understand what is it that you offer and what's your message, or multiple messages actually, is what's your positioning. Where do you position yourself? Do you position yourself that you are using 100% cotton and sustainable for sensitive skin, for special needs, or are you more of a niche, or you position yourself as you have everything you need for your baby from our store? So are you more broad or more niche? What is it that you provide? Is it quality for money? Is it the styles and the cuteness from Asia or from Japan in particular? What is it that you would like to capitalize on? Then comes the well-targeted process. What I'm trying to tell you here is understand your marketing, understand your business, and then what happens is Google will allow you to communicate with your audience. We know the difference between a target market and audience. Target market is the market in total, and audience are those I would like to target with this ad copy in this ad group under this campaign. So then Google will also allow you with options to create multiple ad copies under different ad groups with different campaign, so that you can talk to each customer segment, that the audience that you kind of set up their characteristics, or you can target them with certain messaging. that will renounce with them and will incite them to click on your ad and thus get you a better return on investment. Now, the good thing about Google is that, why do I really appreciate Google and Google tools? First of all, Google has become the dominant player, unfortunately. There are other players, but if you study Google and you learn how Google algorithm works, other players are just copying Google. Even Bing right now, not many people are using Bing. Why do we talk about Bing, by the way? Because it's a Microsoft product, and Microsoft and Google are big players in the tech industry. So Bing is not as popular as Google because they insisted not to copy Google so much. And this is why they are lagging behind. But now they're catching up and they're copying Google as much as they kind of can, so that they can catch up with the trends. Google has set up the standards. And even my students, I told them, study with me Google in digital marketing course. And then once you go to the entrepreneur strategy course, you'll find out that it's the same terminologies, almost the same way, the same algorithms, the same options, but sometimes with tweaking, naming, or labeling. And then you'll be able to manage your Facebook advertisements quite easily. And this is what students also, the feedback I receive from my students as well. They studied Google tools, and then they were able to also easily adapt to other tools, social media tools. So this is the motivation and reasoning of why I focus on Google tools. Now, one thing I appreciate also about Google, and you will appreciate as well yourself, and probably you never knew about Google before, is that Google doesn't, it is, even though the model is pay per click, meaning I'm going to pay you for a click on a certain keyword, which is baby clothing. Now, I have Sarah also had a store and she sells baby clothing. And then I have also David here. He's also interested in baby clothing or marketing baby clothing. So we have 3 different individuals who would like to bid on baby clothing. And we have a new mother, and her search or a term or inquiry is baby clothes, or newborn baby clothes. So there's baby clothing, baby clothes. Okay. And 3 of us are bidding. The 3 of us wants this new mom to actually click on our link and land on my site. So we are all competing toward the rank. Who's going to be ranked first? Who's going to be ranked second on the SERP? Who's going to be ranked third? Who's going to be ranked so on? Of course, all of us would love to be the first ranked page, right? So we are all competing to be ranked high, actually ranked first. As we talk in the first few classes in digital marketing, in fact, the likelihood of people clicking on beyond the 3rd link on the SERP is almost diminished, like very, very, very diminishing likelihood of people clicking on any links beyond the 3rd ranked link. There are exceptions, of course, but usually people go for the first link, the 2nd rank, but maybe not very much the 3rd, but beyond the 3rd, not that much high likelihood, unless you can find what you're looking for on the 1st link, 2nd link, and 3rd link. And this is Google's job, is to find the best match so that you can find what you're looking for on the 1st rank, 2nd rank, hopefully the top ranks. So this is your goal. Your goal is to get the click, and getting the click is very much related to your rank. Where is your position on the SERP? If you guys remember back in the time, but you were really young, back in the time, a while back, these search ads were not on the left main side. The page was almost split into 2 columns, a very wide, big column, which is the main column that shows organic results. And then on the side, in small boxes on the right corner, right top corner, there will be the list things of the paid search. This has changed because nobody is clicking on the paid search on the corner. So Google also needed to generate more revenue so that they can support their employees and pay their salaries, and they can grow and they can flourish. So they kind of merged the paid search results with the organic. So now the paid search results are on top. Yeah, that wasn't the case all the time. That just recent, not very recent though. So in any case, having to know this, I hope you understand the importance now of the ranking, where you stand, where your position is on the SERP, and the likelihood of getting clicks. Now, the three of us who are bidding, wanting to pay for your click on the baby clothing keyword, have different budgets. For example, Nora has a big business. She's willing to pay $2 for your click. David, on the other hand, is willing to pay only $1.5. Sarah is just willing to pay 0.5 or $1 for the click. So even though Nora is willing to pay $2 while Sarah is only willing to pay $1, and the system asks us, what is the maximum that you are willing to pay for a click? I would say, I'm willing to pay up to $2. Sarah is saying, I'm willing to pay up to $1. That doesn't mean Sarah's link will not be on top. Relevance is the king with Google. Google tells us it doesn't necessarily has to do with your bidding amount. Even if you are powerful enough, rich enough to pay $2, that doesn't mean you are going to buy your position on the SERP. Isn't that ethical also? And this is why I also, one of the reasons why I respect Google. And it's not always about money. They're trying to tell us we are not greedy, we are not evil. Actually, advertisement is not evil was one of the internal marketing campaigns that they ran around Google in the old times. In old times, the Google founders and the Google employees hated the idea of advertisements. They don't want to deal with advertisements. Advertisements has very negative connotation. It's all about money. It's all greedy. But then they were like, what if we change this? And what if we create a very transparent platform, and a platform that you could thrive based on how hard you work with us to provide your best. And this is what Google is doing. Even though Nora is very lazy and she's not working on optimizing her website, and she's not bringing new products or writing more and more on her blog or whatever that is related to the e-commerce store and so on, then even if she's willing to pay the $3, she is not guaranteed to be on top all the time because she's paying the $3. There is a certain way, a certain recipe that Google takes into consideration to determine your rank. And it is more onto your quality score. And this is why I here highlighted the quality score. Quality score is very important. The quality score of your site, your website, is very important factor. In fact, it's more important than the amount of money that you are going to pay for that click. In fact, there's the rank, and there's your quality score, and there is your own relevance, and the quality score of your competitors, or the competitor right below you. There is a certain recipe here that your CPC, your cost per click, will be determined based on the players in the market, based on how much based on certain factors of the person ranked just below you with Google. So even though Sarah is willing to pay $1, probably Nora is the second in rank, and Nora didn't do a very great job with her quality, like optimizing her site and all that. Sarah might end up paying even less than the $1. So isn't that an amazing business model? So even though you said, I am willing to pay $1, you may end up also paying less, depending on how good the other players in that industry bidding for that keyword are doing. So how good they're performing, how good they're doing it, meaning how good their quality is. And we're going to talk about this in more detail, so please don't worry. So let's talk about the advantages of pay-per-click. Accountability. So you can easily, or it is easier than traditional marketing campaigns to compute the return on investment, the return on investment ROI for your individual keywords. Somehow it's predictable. So based on different other historical campaigns and your style in creating certain campaigns, you will be able to predict the traffic, the rankings, and results generally stable and predictable. And also Google Analytics helps you with the predictions and other tools as well. Technically simpler than search engine optimization. With search engine optimization, it's always on continuous ongoing efforts. And you have to always keep an evergreen content, do the backlinking, always introducing new products that shows that your site, there's something new on your site. Try your best to be creative, finding ways to be more visible to your partners that link back to you, or also to your customers. It is simpler, but you need also time to master it, study it, understand it. Nothing is simple right from the beginning. It might get simpler after the third or fourth campaign that you're running, and after learning a lot about what did I do wrong and wasted my time doing, and how can I do it better. So speed, also speed in getting the campaign, like rolling out the campaign, I would say. But I would always say the amount of preparation, the marketing preparation, not digital marketing, technical digital marketing. No, the marketing preparation for it, understanding your audience, understanding the messaging, understanding different segments, understanding the organization, how I'm going to organize it, what's the hierarchy of different ad groups, and so on. Once this is done, it is just technical and it is repetitive, and you can actually use duplicates. The branding. There is a branding effect with pay-per-click. Even if users do not click on the ads, it has been found that it could create what we call it brand awareness. They will be aware of the brand. To what extent? Meaning that awareness could be measured with the memory. Like, is it memorable? Could they memorize your brand? This is why I always tell my students, please do not go for very difficult names. Go for simple, easy names like Midori Kitchen, Midori. If you type even M with capital, D with capital, R with capital, it is easy for English speaking, Japanese speaking individuals to catch the name. And this is brand awareness. But very complicated names, or names that comes from certain origins that you have just basically, for example, a specific segment is aware of the origin of the name, or names that has a misspell, not really memorable. Names that has a misspelling in them, they're not as memorable. And this is science. Not me, it's a published research. So try to find these names that has a melody, these names that very easy to memorize in most of the languages. All right. Here talking about branding. I'm going to move to remarketing. I'm going to talk about remarketing in due course. This is for display advertisements. Now, disadvantages, it's competitive and expensive. It could be expensive. It depends on the keywords that you are bidding on. And it could be somehow inappropriate for companies with a lower budget or narrower products. So that is also a thing. Needs a specialist knowledge. That's true. It requires a specialist knowledge. Even though here we talk about speed and simplicity, but you still need to be able to allow yourself some time to get yourself familiarized and master all the features and techniques there. But if you are good with marketing, this is why I always tell my students, please take the Principles of Marketing course with Professor Sumire. You will get to know more about segmentation and marketing customers and all that. Time consuming, it could be time consuming. It could be at the very beginning as well. It depends on your position. If you are a global, you're working on a global project, like you're working on the same campaign on different countries, it might not be as time consuming as different campaigns in different countries. That totally completely have different videos, images, languages, and so on. And so many different other factors. Time consuming also depends on how big the campaign is, how big, how many messages you, the size of the audience, the different segments and all that. If sponsored listings are only part of the search engine marketing, so many search users do not click on these. They find them to be like sponsored. So some people might find organic listings more relevant to them. All right, this is it for this video. I'm going to talk about campaign process and keywords in my next video.